A very good morning to you, Nigeria, Southeast, and Enugu. Thank you for joining us and for once again the Glaucoma Awareness Program on Solid 100.9 FM. Of course, today's episode is a deeply important one because we're confronting an issue that sits at the intersection of medical science, culture, and spirituality. Across many communities, blindness, especially when it comes from glaucoma, is often misunderstood. People turn to faith, spiritual interpretations, and long held beliefs to explain what they don't fully understand. And while faith can be a powerful source of strength, misinformation can delay treatment, worsen vision loss, and prevent people from seeking medical help early enough. And you will agree with me that early medical help can avert certain things that people go through. So today we're exploring the timely and sensitive topic, faith, beliefs, and blindness. Our guest is a distinguished ophthalmologist, researcher, educator, and a leading voice in glaucoma awareness. She is a consultant ophthalmologist with ISA Teaching Hospital, Park Lane, Enugu. She's also the governor representing Africa World Glaucoma Association Board of Governors. She has dedicated her career to saving sight, correcting myths, and helping communities understand the truth about eye health. We are honored to have her join us this morning. Professor Nkiru Kizo Akariwe, good to have you this morning.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
Okay, let's set the stage. Prof, when we talk about blindness, especially in our communities, why do you think so many cultural and spiritual interpretations are attached to it?
You know, there's blindness is something nobody wishes to have, and anytime when it occurs, it's often, especially the type, there was no trauma,
Okay.
no accidents, and somebody suddenly goes blind, and the person feels that their enemies are after them.
Village people.
You know, anything we can't find a solution or an answer or reason out why it happened, we often resort to spiritual causes. I remember a man we saw someday in the clinic, and he came in and he said something entered he was in the bus, and something entered his eye, and when he when he was trying to remove it, he saw that the thing had already blinded the other eye. And this one, that since after that day, is been blurry. Now, when we examined him, he had advanced glaucoma, and the other eye was blind. You know, and so nothing we explained about glaucoma could he believe. He said it was his enemies. So we couldn't understand, okay, if it was his enemies, you came to the hospital for solution. We are telling you, see your eye pressures, they are high. See glaucoma, but he still believed it is his enemies that sent it. We say, this condition has been in your eye since it blinded the other one. But because you were seeing with the right eye, you didn't know the left eye was blind a while ago. So now you had reason to close the right eye. You suddenly realize that, the left wasn't seeing. But that was it. And there are a number of people, even in the clinics, as you explain things for them, they are hearing you with half an ear, not even one, because they believe they know where the source came from. That's their father's brother in the village. I know. I know. So some they will tell you, doctor, you don't understand.
So why are you meeting a doctor for what is spiritual?
That's what because maybe someone say, go to the hospital. So you're explaining to them this is what happened, and they say, doctor, you don't understand. And sincerely, I'm not really arguing whether it came from, if you believe it came from spiritual source or physical, because nothing is impossible. Are you with me? But now we are here. We want to handle the problem. So that's what we have realized, that, or we see not every day in the clinics, that people respond differently, whether to the diagnosis, when you give them the diagnosis
Okay.
of glaucoma, and on how they respond to the follow-up treatments, and how, if the eyes become blind, or if one eye is blind, how they respond. The faith and belief often affects how they respond at these three different phases. And I might even add, before the diagnosis. Okay, so faith and belief affects. So somebody say, never, glaucoma will never be my portion. And they never go for checkup. Now, we are advising, go for checkup. The fact that you believe that no evil will happen to you is fantastic, is great. But go and check. Just go and check. Now, somebody who believes, I believe this type of thing will never happen to me, then you go and check, and you have evidence, you have proof that it is not happening to you. Now, but what a lot of people do when they believe is that they don't look for evidence.
Now, it is interesting. You are a Christian, a very strong word at that.
Yeah.
You could even pass for a pastor, but and you are also a professor.
Yeah.
So, at what point, how do you balance your faith in God with evidence?
Now, faith is the evidence of things hoped for, and the substance of things not seen. So, the evidence of things hoped for is faith. So sometimes even some of the pastors who do miracles, we say, go to hospital to check, verify, and bring proof, bring pathological or histological diagnosis, evaluation to say that tumor has gone.
Okay.
Do ultrasound, do MRI, to prove, so that it's not in the realm of make-believe.
Okay.
So God is not here to deceive us, but occasionally we deceive ourselves. So that science and God, they are not at opposite ends.
Okay.
Whatever wisdom science has is that God has revealed it.
Okay.
For instance, as we are now, we don't have a solution to glaucoma blindness in terms of reversing whatever damage
what has been damaged already.
Yes,
okay.
we don't have in medical science. Now, research is going on. Research has been going on for some time. We could do everything and there is failure. We don't get a solution. And if we don't get a solution, we don't get a solution. Now, what I believe, if God opens that archive of knowledge to man and he discovers solution, then we have solution.
Yeah.
But whatsoever that we understand now, he gave the understanding. He opened that knowledge up for us, and we're able to have it to be able to help ourselves. Now, faith, for some persons, believe that except is in the miraculous, then it is not God. But God heals in different ways. Even when Jesus was on earth, some people he said, go, your faith has made you whole. Some he spoke, say your daughter is healed.
Yeah.
Some he mixed more than spit, rubbed it. He could still have just spoken. Why did he have to rub something? I believe he was trying to teach us that you don't straitjacket God. There are diverse ways that people get healing, and medical science is definitely a major route that God uses to heal people, and he gave the knowledge. Someday we operated, it happens now and again, a man who was bilaterally blind from cataract, and he had been in his house for quite some time. He used to be an Okada rider, and so he couldn't walk again, he couldn't do anything. And he was brought to the hospital. When he regained, after surgery, and he regained sight, he was rejoicing. I said, hey, once I was blind, now I see. And he said, you guys are like Jesus to me. Now, that is healing for him. Are we together?
Yeah.
So if he stayed back in his house, say, except God comes to heal him miraculously, then it is not healing. Then he will be cheating himself. So I just want to bring that out in terms of balancing health and medical science
and faith.
That they are not at opposing ends at all.
Let's explore, some of the common misconceptions that you have encountered. In the course of, we've treated the fact that a lot of people will see it as a spiritual attack. And there are also people who will say, God will heal me. I don't need the hospital. Okay?
Yeah.
And then some people believe that using eye drops means that I lack faith.
That's true.
Okay? And then if it is God's will, I will go blind. It sounds fatal,
Fatalistic.
but okay. So if blindness comes, it means that it's God's will.
Yeah.
God's will couldn't be that fatalistic, okay? Because there are things we need to do to avert it.
That's right.
There are people who are listening to us right now who probably have glaucoma, but who have not presented themselves for test.
That's true.
Okay, so there are also people who will say any illness that doesn't cause pain is spiritual. Okay, and of course glaucoma doesn't present pain.
Cause pain. Yeah.
So and that explains why somebody will believe it is spiritual.
That's
okay.
Right.
And then there are those who believe, I would like you to treat them as one, herbal or spiritual water is more effective than hospital medicine. Some people believe that prophets or spiritual leaders must approve treatment first. Okay, we're that backward. A child's blindness is a punishment for the parent's sin.
Yeah.
Okay, and then wearing glasses or going for eye surgery opens your spiritual eyes to witchcraft. People believe all manner of things. And then lastly, anointing oil or holy water can cure all kinds of blindness.
Yeah, let me start with the one of the child. We once had an undergraduate at UNN.
Okay.
But she's graduated now. Who a patient. She was on radio with us once in this studio, yeah. And she was discovered to have glaucoma as a child. And the ophthalmologist said this child needs to have surgery. And the parents said never. How can? And while at it, she lost one eye. And by the time, and they passed her through different excruciating experiences, telling her to confess. Now, the one you mentioned is that they feel it's a parent's problem. Now, this one, unfortunately, it was the child they were telling, what evil did you do?
How old was this child?
She was in her early teens. I mean, when it started, she was in primary school when it was discovered, but now she was in secondary school and she was being
probably
told,
15.
Yes, less than that by the time. So she should confess what she did for this type of evil to come to her, and she would be made to go through fasting and prayer, finally just before she completely lost the other eye. They eventually, I don't know what happened, agreed to surgery. And that's how a little vision was saved for that other eye.
Okay.
Now, so even that she was in the university when we met her, it wasn't that she was using her eyes to read.
Okay.
She was depending on non-visual aids for her study. But it just gave her tiny navigational vision, tiny. So, and it keeps happening. I've seen another young girl, and the same way the parents said no. In fact, if I had to uncharacteristically shout at the father, I said, if this child goes blind, and the child was there, I say, hold yourself responsible. Because every day you come, the pressures are in the 30s. You've watched one eye go blind. The second, you're watching it going down. See the tiny, very tiny thing remaining in the visual field. And you're still saying, no, God will heal her. and God has put source of healing before you, and you don't want to receive it. So
What was the man's problem in that case?
well, first he said, no, they can't do surgery. He had issues with surgery. That
Is it that he can't afford it or
no,
what?
no, not that he can't afford it. They believed God will heal her. And they believed, hey, she's a child. How can she do surgery? She was in the secondary school, and a pretty little girl. And finally, I was so angry with the man on that particular occasion. And he said, okay, he will discuss with the wife. Then the wife came with him the next time. I think she was a strong force. And by the time, anyway, they agreed. Now, that child, that little vision remained. That's what she used, finished her secondary school, entered university, read law. She's in law school presently.
Wow.
And just tiny little thing remaining. So, and it's so heartbreaking when we turn around and say, God disappointed me. But something about God. God doesn't change because of us.
Mm-hmm.
In the Christian faith, the scriptures say that my people perish for lack of knowledge. So when ignorance, lack of understanding makes you take a course of action, sometimes, except God in his mercy intervenes, sends you, sometimes he sends you help and you refuse to take them. And for instance, somebody will say, God has healed me, so it doesn't matter what I do to my body. And then every day you're consuming fizzy drinks in their numbers. You will end up with diabetes, irrespective of that faith that you have. So there are principles, natural principles you don't abuse and say, God will cover up for me. No. Or you don't study as a student
and then
then you make an A. It doesn't happen. But God intercepts in what he has made available for us.
Yeah.
So God will bring healing to us through the medical things that he has, much more than the miracles. Okay, so we're not saying that miracles do not occur. But, I had someone close to me, very short-sighted. So he had glasses on he was using short glasses. So then he said he's been healed and he stopped using the glasses. So he couldn't see. He couldn't see. He wouldn't see anybody. People were getting angry with him. I was greeting you, you didn't respond. He saw nobody. So he kept stumbling over things and all that. I felt that was faith. Until he met another man of God who he spoke to, and that person said, no, you're bringing reproach to God's name this way. If God has healed you, your glasses will be on and you can't see with it. Then you will remove the glasses and you now see that you are seeing. So that your glasses is on your face is not a lack of faith. It's not lack of faith. So when some persons believe that, interestingly, belief and faith can act on the positive. Now, some time ago, we had talked about the place of stress and glaucoma blindness. When the body is stressed, the body generates cortisone, which is a steroid, and that's worsens the glaucoma status. Now, people who have faith in the positive angle, who says, no, God who caused me to have this glaucoma discovered early, will not allow me to go blind. That person will cooperate with the doctor to do anything they say to prevent blindness. So somebody can also say, no, if this is what I need to do, so that I will do it, because God is on my side.
That's taking responsibility.
Yes. So the person is coming from the place of faith on the positive side. So because, for instance, it's not all medications that work for everybody. There are some glaucomas that don't respond to medications. There are people who have surgery done and it fails. So somebody's faith can be, no, I will do this surgery and it will succeed.
Yeah.
I've had a patient who had unbelievably tiny vision remaining. That was very risky to have surgery done. In fact, when I enter theater, and because that man's child had given us a lot of trouble, and all that, I said, no, I don't want to. I looked at him. I said, sir, I don't think I want to operate. What operate on your eyes? What is remaining in your vision is too small. It could go if we touch it, and I don't want trouble with your son. Nothing is working. Nothing else is working. That's why we came to do surgery. I said, so, well, take a decision. So after a few minutes, he told me, doctor, please operate on me. I believe it will work. So we entered theater, we did it. And the surgery was successful. So whenever I see him, I hail him man of faith. Because he believed.
Yeah.
I've seen a few patients like that who will believe, and that vision they have gets retained.
Yeah, faith without works
is dead. So that so somebody can have faith in the positive side, and believe that the treatment you're giving will work for them and they will adhere to it. I've had a big pastor come, and what was remaining was very small. I didn't want to do surgery, and I said, okay, let's do laser. Laser didn't work. And when I told him, I said, we have to do surgery at this stage. He said, I'm here for you. That I had a revelation of you before I came. And he went into details. He said, and so that God has sent me to you. I was a pastor of a big church. I said, so whatever you decide to do, do it. God is with you. Now, that is faith. That is belief.
Yeah.
That's positive.
Okay.
And we did his surgery and it was successful. And that tiny vision remained
was preserved.
Yes.
Okay, for clarity's sake, we may need to explain because I think people need to take responsibility for even how they have been careless with their vision. Most of us, we're not big on checkups.
We're not.
Not to talk about maybe for the eyes. Most people, there are those who for 50 years have not seen an eye doctor. They have never gone to.
and they actually take pride.
Okay.
As I've never been to.
But you don't know your sight is diminishing. Like me, there was a time I could see from very far. I could read things very clearly. But it's not like that anymore.
No.
So we might want to explain again why glaucoma leads to irreversible blindness, even treated early. For those who probably are listening to this awareness for the very first time.
Yeah, like a chance you're joining us this part of your first time. Glaucoma, we know, or we always talk about, is a group of diseases in which you have continuous damage to the nerve for vision, which we call the optic nerve. And this damage to the nerve is painless but progressive. So before it gives sign that it is there, it's usually in its advanced stages. And the damage it has caused is not reversible. So glaucoma has a name called the silent thief of sight. So it steals somebody's vision without the person knowing. And unfortunately, it is the leading cause of blindness, of irreversible blindness worldwide. Cataracts, that is the leading cause of blindness. When surgery is done, vision is restored. But glaucoma, nothing reverses.
Whatever is lost is lost.
Whatever is lost is lost. And it's more common among blacks, among Africans, and when you come to Nigeria, it's more common among the Igbos. So it's also more common as one gets older. So 30 years and above, the risk increases. By the time the 80-year-old person is 5 times at greater risk of having glaucoma than a 40-year-old. So just check your parameters. Are you black? Are you African? Are you Igbo, for instance? Are you Do you have hypertension, diabetes? All those increase the risk. Are you short-sighted or long-sighted? They increase the risk. Are your, very importantly, eye pressures high? Now, if you've never gone to check your eye pressures, you wouldn't know what they are. Yeah, are they high? That's one of the main risk factors for developing glaucoma. So glaucoma is here with us. Unfortunately, now about 95% of those who have glaucoma do not know they have it. So as you are listening to us on radio now, you might have, and you don't know that you have. The question is, have you checked? When last did you have your eyes checked? Did you check 5 years ago? Did you check 3 years ago? What of today? What of this year? Do you know what the situation is? We say, don't let glaucoma steal your sight. Be proactive. Have your eyes checked every year to make sure the silent thief of sight has not entered.
Now, in one of the episodes, I was talking with Dr. Suhanya, and then I was like, imagine, just close your eyes wherever you are and try to move around for 10 minutes. I mean, you will stumble into things, and that's what happens when you lose your sight. It's a very terrible situation.
It's another life.
It's another life altogether.
Yeah.
So, someone may want to know, can faith and medicine work hand in hand? How should patients, okay, we've really talked about this. How should we proceed issues of our health? I will want to say, and maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, Christians seem to be one of the most careless set of people, if not the most careless, because there's a whole lot of things we think God will do that is actually our responsibility. There are people, there are even Christian communities where they don't believe in drugs. Okay, so in Nsukka, a child is... I saw a child die simply because the parents simply just said, we don't believe, in medication. And the child died. So we might want to stress this...
the place of...
Yes.
What I would, like we mentioned earlier, that no discovery. There were times in many years ago that infections killed people. Are we together? Infections killed people because we didn't have antibiotics. We had herbs, and it took a long time for recovery to be done. And so maybe somebody has pneumonia and they are immobilized, stay in bed for almost 1 month because they are using natural means, heating up and all that. But a time came when knowledge came, understanding came, and we could have antibiotics. Now you could actually have pneumonia and you are going about your work and taking your medicines. So no knowledge came from hell. Knowledge that we give life did not come from the devil. It only came from God. So it's important that we understand that science does not contradict faith. It doesn't. Now, when you have medications, you have, for instance, glaucoma. They say glaucoma, you need to do treatment for life. Your treatment is for life. You need to use your medications for life. Okay? So you are using the medications, and the medications, believe God that they will work, because they might not work. For instance, I'll give you an example with IVF. Some people have issues with it. Now, IVF, and say it's not, because it's not natural, it's not God. How many people do IVF and is successful? So the fact that you do it and is successful, it's God. It's faith. It's a miracle. Are we together? Now, I have a patient who we were going to, he has glaucoma, and he disappeared. One eye was blind already, only one eye remaining. That one eye remaining was like moderate glaucoma. And then he disappeared, Our people say, "Woken Ife," the men will tell you they are busy, running for money. And for years we didn't see him. Then he comes back in very, very advanced glaucoma in that only one eye. And the day he was coming in for admission, I happened to be around, and I saw his wife lead him in. I said,
which means he couldn't even...
He couldn't navigate. And I said, "Is that the person we want to operate?" And then tomorrow he will say we blinded him. So I said no. So that's next. You say do laser. And he did laser. And his eye pressures came down. Now, we've been seeing him since then. I'm telling you for it. Unbelievably, his vision improved. He now walks in. The last time he came for checkup, I asked him, I said, "Who is praying for you?" Because his recovery is beyond
normal.
we tell you what is damaged, isn't it? I said, "Who is praying for you?" He says his wife. I said she's doing a good job. She should keep at it. Sincerely, his vision, he can now move around on his own. Now, he himself said, yes, that he knows that his vision is much better. He can now do things by himself. That is faith. Maybe not his own, his wife's own. But it's working for him. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Now, but he came for treatment. The vision, the pressure came down. Are we together? So what I'm saying
But it would
is
have been better if he had presented it earlier.
If he presented earlier, that big vision he had would have been
preserved. Yeah.
Now, assuming he didn't come to take any treatment at all, that vision, little one, would have gone. So it is not, you can use faith to believe that your treatment will work. That is because it doesn't always work. So believe that. For instance, you say, laser, for instance, works for 8 out of 10 people. So some people will become despondent. Hey, I said, why don't you believe you will be among the 8? Why believe you will be among the 2 out of 10? It doesn't work for. I don't know if you get me.
Yeah.
So people apply faith in different ways. But when faith is applied positively, it's an enhancer.
Okay. Welcome back. It's still the Glaucoma Awareness Program, and we want to take your calls. We want to take your questions, and as quickly as we can, let's get them in. You can call 0704-550-2840. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Yusuf.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Yusuf.
Yeah, good morning. What's the name?
Uzachukwu is my name.
Uzachukwu, you're welcome. Go ahead.
Good morning, Prof.
Good morning, Mr. Uzachukwu.
Mr. Yusuf, I'm a regular listener to this program.
Okay.
And I told you once that I went off my radio. I went far, the thing couldn't open.
Okay.
I went far away, the thing is still echoing.
Talk, go on.
Go ahead.
Well,
Go ahead,
so
we
I
can
told
hear
you that I have lost my both eyes to glaucoma. But I think during your answer, you said that the profit.
Hello?
I'm calling, I went off my radio, please.
Your radio is not disturbing. Go ahead.
Okay. During your intro, I think I heard you say that office is working in
Mm-hmm.
in Pakistan.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to help me.
Help you do what?
That's what I want to explain. In January last year, I had surgery in one of my eyes. Even though I have lost my eyes to glaucoma, but I still did they removed the cataract January last year. And through my subsequent visit for checkups, one of the doctors they told me that what they put in my eye, that they didn't do it well, that I have to do another surgery. So, but my problem is that I don't have money again for another surgery. I want to doctor to tell me whether there's anything I can do.
Okay. All right. Just keep listening. Hello. Good morning.
Hello? Okay, good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Good morning to your guest. My name is Enzo. I'm calling from Mocha. Uche, I want to get the topic straight. Is it about glaucoma and faith and prayer?
Yes.
Yeah, for me, I've been singing this thing as a national anthem. I'm pleading with Nigerians and also your guests in the studio. They should try and discourage Nigerians whenever they have eye problem or any other sickness. They should go to the hospital. I feel pain when I see people trooping in mass going in to go and see a pastor whenever they have eye problem. I've seen pastors, people will kneel down with their glasses and they'll be praying. How can prayer so make you to correct the problem you have with your eyes? It is not possible. Why can't we start educating people in this part of the world? I've seen in their hundreds, someone will tell you has a eye problem, he's sick, he or she is sick, and they're going to see a pastor or a reverend father and they'll be praying. Has prayer ever solved glaucoma? It has never, and it will never. People should get this thing into their head. I don't have a problem with having faith. Have whatever faith you have, but please, for the sake of your life and your eyes and your health, whenever you are sick, go and see a doctor. It is only a doctor that can solve your problem. A pastor, a reverend father, a bishop can never solve your problem. And prayer can never, I stand to be corrected, prayer can never solve your eye problem. Good morning.
Prayer can do what prayer does, but seeing a doctor is important. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, UC.
Yeah.
Thank God for a lady in the studio. Yeah. My name is Okoye.
You're welcome.
I'm you from Express. You see, Biko one name working. The buyer which I go. The man when one man Anya years on where you know about me by years and on so. Then I go over and I'm gonna buy it. No, ya please start. I want when they when I am not in the doctor. Why am I not studio to offer yet? We are mammy here with the Kuzra Tata. Offer took it all, yeah. I man a chicken or when I go to know, you know, just take it off. Okay, look at what you're about.
Dalarin, thank you. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Esther.
Your name is Esther.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Doctor, good morning.
Good morning.
My own is I have problems since 8 years ago. When I traveled to the village, I discovered that I was getting sick. So along the line, when we got to the village, the weakness continued. It was on the 31st. So the next morning, I couldn't wake up. When I woke up, I was going to my brother's house. So I went to a place and sat down. All I know that next was that I screamed. When I screamed, they loved me. They took me to the hospital. But they administered me. When I slept up, I woke up again the next time. I saw that every day was moving, and I couldn't even stand. They held my hand. Since then, I cannot see clear. When I come outside, I see only smoke. And I am not well. I'm speaking to you now. I don't know. I used to go to the hospital. I've not visited eye clinic because it's happened that I felt sick. Then everything happened. But since I started learning about glaucoma, and I'm in Cross River.
Okay.
So this December you will come because I'm familiar. I don't know. Just telling me.
You're calling from Cross River?
Yes.
Okay. What part of Cross River?
Ugep.
Ugep is not that far. Okay, but then how did it start? You had an accident?
No, 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 no. It's
Y-
just sickness.
Okay, and you can't see very well right now.
Yes.
Have you seen an ophthalmologist since it started?
No. I've not visited. Even my health is not okay till now.
But it's possible for them because, a stitch in time saves nine.
Hmm.
When you notice something, the earlier some bodily diseases affect the eyes, and if it's seen early enough, then something can be done than when it's allowed to stay long and maybe causes so much more damage. So um, see what you can do to hire a vehicle, whatever, in a way you can, and get to see the nearest ophthalmologist that is near you. I don't know how far Ugep is from Abakiliki,
It's not far.
so that you
It's
can.
not,
So if you can,
but I want to come to village in December. So I'm planning to come to the hospital there.
okay, do so, but the earlier the better.
The earlier the better. I was at a program, and Ambassador Don Odunze said something that I will not forget in a hurry. He said some of the people that come to them as reverend ministers do so because of poverty. But I think it's a factor. But you see, you may not have all the money in the world, but you don't want to go blind. Because the moment you lose your sight, you will just see
become
that
dependent.
you just see that you've been in heaven. Each time I get a call from certain people who cannot see, I mean, they can't even move around. So it even affects their economic potential.
That's right.
And then it's a different world altogether. Most of them are not happy. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Mr. Obinna.
Go ahead.
Doctor, thank you so much for your explanation.
Thank you.
So I've been through a lot in this eyes issue. So, and let me just cut it short. I don't want to narrate a long story. I've been to several hospitals for solution. So, but each time I go to a hospital, they don't used to tell me exactly what the problem is. I've been to a hospital, 3 different hospitals in Lagos, in Abeokuta, in Kaduna State, here in Ebonyi State as well. So, but each time, they don't used to tell me exactly what the problem is. They would just recommend eye glasses. And the glasses that they used to recommend doesn't work with the eyes. Whenever I use the eye glasses, the problem worsened. So it was on January this year, I went to another hospital in Abakaliki here, and I was told that what I'm having is.
Hello? When you're about to tell us
What
exactly
you
what
have.
Okay, do call back if you can, as quickly as you can.
I'll just like to mention a matter that he has flagged. When you go to hospital to see a doctor for any reason, please, if the doctor doesn't tell you, oh, this is what is wrong with you, this is what they have found, please ask. You have a right to know. It's your body. You came. You have a right to know what is wrong with you. So the doctor might be too busy a bit to remember to tell you. But if the doctor doesn't tell you, ask, please, doctor, what is wrong with me? You have a right to understand what's happening to your body. And the doctor will tell you. You need to know. So but if the doctor doesn't tell you, then you know that you don't really need to continue with that doctor. So it's important, please. And even the medications, you could ask, what are they for?
Yeah.
What will they do? So you have understanding.
Okay, let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Please. I called before. I didn't hear what the doctor said. My radio off. I was trying to on it. I couldn't on it. I didn't hear her answer to my request.
What was okay? Your request is whether you can be helped at Exit Parkland, right?
Yes.
Okay, she's yet to answer. Luckily for you. Okay, so I will take this one and then you can respond. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning.
Hello. Yeah, good morning, Uncle Yusuf.
Good morning.
And good morning to the presenter.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Okechukwu. Okay. So, I really appreciate you for enlightening us because we that have gone through this pain of being visual impaired is not easy. Just as you said, it's just like we are in another life. It's not easy to move from one place to another. It's like it's somebody that they tie with rope. When you try to want to move, it's like you are falling into another danger. So it's very difficult. So I really thank you for the enlightenment because it's giving us courage.
Thank you.
Also giving us hope. So I thank you.
Okay, let me take my last call because of time. We have a program at 9:55. Hello, good morning.
Yeah, it's Obina callback.
Okay, quickly.
Yeah, as I was saying, so the previous one, the doctor told me the problem is called a pathological myopia.
Okay.
So, and I asked if there is something they can do about it. They said there is nothing they can do about it. The treatment is not available here in Nigeria. So I don't know if the doctor in the studio know about the pathological myopia and if there is anything they can do to improve my sight.
Okay.
And I would also like to have the doctor's number.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, go, doctor. Go ahead. We have just about 3 minutes left.
All right. For Mr. Uzochukwu who called in earlier, yeah, it's good if you come in to Park Lane back so that we are reevaluated. Usually we have different units, and you don't just.
You said he doesn't have money again.
What can we do? What can we do? Don't have money again. The money is small. The money is small, but and the day we did free screenings and all that examinations would have been a good time.
At least to understand what the problem is.
To understand what the problem is. Well, what I can say is that he could come to the eye specialist hospital and see the manager there on a Saturday.
Okay.
And maybe he could be seen there's a low-cost clinic on Saturday. The manager could give him a pass to be evaluated.
Okay.
All right. Then for the pathological myopia, it's something, if whatever, what happens in myopia or in what we call refractive error, the eye learns to see by seeing. When a child is born, the child's eyes learn to see as they see. So if the child has a refractive error that prevents them from seeing well, if they exceed that learning to see period, it becomes difficult to improve vision more than that.
Okay.
Yeah, no. So the eye is in a layman's language said to become a lazy eye. So he might be able to see things close to him, but not far. And even with glasses, it won't improve it beyond that. So there's if he has developed that thing, we call it amblyopia. If he's developed amblyopia and he's an adult, as he sounds like now, nothing much can be done about it.
Okay.
But that vision he has developed already, yeah, that can be maintained.
Okay. I wish we had more time, but next week, Friday, we can do more. If you want to join the WhatsApp channel, send glaucoma to 0810 435 8093. I'll take it again, 0810 435 8093 on WhatsApp so that you can be added and learn more about glaucoma. And don't send the message as SMS, please. Send it as WhatsApp. It's easier to add you that way. Okay, DM 0810 435 8093 on WhatsApp. Want to thank you, Professor Nkiru Kizo Akariwe, consultant ophthalmologist, Isu Teaching Hospital, Park Lane, Enugu, and Governor representing Africa, World Glaucoma Association Board of Governors. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, until next Friday, we want to thank you for being part of it and do have a great day ahead of you.